And I'm sitting there looking, and all of a sudden, they didn't pull up with their vehicles. I see them like doing a pincer move. Like one of them's going in the woods over here, one of them's coming this way.
On foot?
And they.
I guess they just not so smart.
Yeah, I've had a fun couple days. Yeah, had the police. I'm not going to obviously get into it too much because this is a very ongoing ordeal. But I had the police come and raid my house the other day. They showed up Wednesday initially, and there was a complaint about shooting. I guess a noise complaint about shooting, which is nonsense. We don't have a noise ordinance out here. This is that someone had called complaining that there was shooting going on. It was loud. I immediately went into sovereign citizen mode. I was like, well, this is there's no noise ordinance here. There's no noise ordinance here, is there? He's like, no. He's like, your bullets could hit a ricochet and hit a house, though. I was like, but they didn't. And he's like, no, they didn't. And I was like, okay, well, so there's not a crime. So what are you guys doing here? They're like, well, we're just wanting to make sure everything's safe. And I was like, well, is there anybody saying that it's unsafe? No. I was like, oh. I just kept like, I don't know why you're here. What are we doing here? There's no crime, right? They're like, well, they could hit whatever. And I'm like, shooting in a safe direction. I know, I've lived out here my whole life. I know where all the houses are. I know how to shoot in a safe direction. No one's saying that I'm being unsafe. Why are you here? And kept asking about like what kind of guns I had, and he's asking if I was shooting, and I said I didn't answer. I was like, people shoot out here sometimes. Asked what kind of guns I had, and I was like, there's guns over here sometimes. Incidentally, yeah, and I've had my felony expunged, so I'm a legal gun owner right now. Yeah, a lot of people were shooting. There are some new people that have been moving in, and so this is a crazy thing. So he mentions to me, he was like, I was like, I don't know. There's some new people that built real big, nice houses on this road. He's like, yeah, we got a lot of new people coming in, and there's a lot of businesses coming into Brandenburg. He's like, we don't want any assholes around here. This is what he says. There's a lot of businesses coming in. I'm just wanting to make sure there's no assholes around here. I was like, buddy, I'm not the asshole. I'm the guy that goes and helps I help all my neighbors. I'm really polite. I'm not shooting at night. It's like during the daytime and reasonable hours. What do you do? But that businesses thing, they did this back in the 90s, incidentally. So you don't remember this. You weren't around at that time. But in the 90s, they started trying to clean this county up. It was a lot of poor people that lived here, a lot of old farmers that had small, they didn't have money. They just had like little small farms, 50, 100 acres, something like that.
Clean it up. And, I know what that means.
Yeah. So back in that day, the best lawyer in the county happened to be the uncle of the prosecutor in the county. And the prosecutor passed a eyesore ordinance for the county the same year that his uncle opened a realty company. So the nephew would go around, and like these old farmers have old tractors or cars sitting out there. They would get all sorts of fines thrown on these guys' property for the property taxes. All these old farmers were losing their farms, and they were getting bought up by the realty company that his uncle owned. And they made a mint doing this. And I think this is just kind of phase two. They just built a giant steel mill up in Brandenburg. There's all sorts. Brandenburg is blowing up. There's all sorts of new businesses going in. Oh, it's huge. It's crazy. There's a lot of money coming into this county right now. And I think there's a concerted effort to push out the people that don't fit the bill for what they want the place to look like right now. And I guess that includes me. But yeah, so he comes out, says something about noise, and
they're gentrifying Meade County, huh? Wow, that's pretty crazy, man.
Meade County. Yeah. I mean, they've driven like all the poor people have basically gotten kicked out and live like kind of in the far western part of the county, like Battletown, Painville, Wolf Creek, if you remember those areas.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere else, Flaherty, Vine Grove, Brandenburg, it's all like $250,000 to $350,000 houses now, which, houses are more expensive, but they're all like nice 2-story houses, all being brand new, all built within the past 10 years. There's not enough poor people, not enough trashy people. Those are my people. But
I know
and
that was
yeah,
the fun part of Meade County. I mean,
yeah,
we're gonna ruin it, man.
and it's all suburbs out here now. Anyway, so he comes out.
Now,
he
who was
says
it? Was it
this,
the
and
sheriff's department or was it
it was,
the?
it was two sheriff's department.
Okay.
Two sheriff's department. They come out, do the whole thing, and you know I'm not answering their questions, and they're like, "Well, why aren't you telling?" I'm like, "Because there's no reason for me to answer questions. You're out here over nothing, right? There's no complaint of any crimes happening, right? So what are we doing here?" And the guy asked me for his ID. I was like, "I'm not giving you my ID." And he was literally taken aback, like he recoiled from me in horror when I said I wouldn't give him my ID.
Do you know who I
And
am?
I was like, look, man, I was like, you already know my name. You already know who I am. You know, I don't need to give you my ID. There's no reason for me to do that. There's no complaints against, you know, no real complaints. Someone complaining is not a legal complaint. Yeah. And he was like, is this your truck? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to call the tag in. I was like, do what you want, man. But I'm not giving you my ID. I got a freaking bug on my microphone.
Probably got one in your microphone now, buddy.
Probably. Yeah, probably so. So anyways, be quiet, Scott. Scott's over there laughing at that. Anyways, so the next day, I call the sheriff and I go up there to the sheriff's department, sat down with the sheriff in his office.
Oh, you went up there the next day?
I went up there the next day and I was like, hey man, like what's going on? Why? And basically so I told the cops, I was like, look, this property's posted no trespassing. I don't want you all coming out. I told the cop, I was like, I don't want you all coming out here over nothing.
Poking the bear,
like,
buddy.
Well, he's like, well, if we get a complaint about somebody hitting a house, it's like, if you get a complaint about somebody hit a bullet hitting a house and you have reason to think it was me, come on out. But I don't care to hear that somebody thinks it was loud. That's not a crime. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I don't want to be bothered about that. And I went up to the sheriff the next day and I talked with him about it. And I was like, look, man, you know, this was kind of nonsense. What happened the other day? I don't want these guys coming out for nothing. He kind of went through the same thing. He was like, well, you know, bullets can ricochet. I was like, yeah, but that's not what was being said. It was just somebody was upset that it was loud. And he ended up like, he seemed to be in agreement. You know, he's like, you know, I'm a big Second Amendment supporter and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you know, tell your guys that I don't want to be bothered. If there's a real crime happening, you know, you can do what you want to do. But otherwise, you know, you got my number. If somebody calls complaining, you can give them my number and you can call them. They can call me as a neighbor and just talk to me. You know, if they got their kids outside between the hours of such and such, cool. You know, I won't bother you. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I won't shoot at that time. So yeah. Then 2 days later, I leave. I pass the cops like a couple roads up, the same ones coming towards my place that had seen me the other day. I was like, what the hell, man?
The same sheriffs?
The same two sheriffs. Yeah. The same two sheriffs. I've been stressed. I'm smoking. I know it's awful. I see them. I pull over. I pull up. I have an app for my security camera set up. Pull over, pull up the camera. Then I get a call from a neighbor who's very, I guess, vigilant of the road. And he tells me, he's like, hey man, them cops just went by again. I was like, I know. And I'm sitting there looking, and all of a sudden, they didn't pull up with their vehicles. I see them like doing a pincer move. Like one of them's going in the woods over here, one of them's coming this way.
On foot?
And they come around. Huh?
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying.
Well, my house is like back in the woods, and there's just a little trail that goes to it. Yeah. So I see them walking up the trail, and then they like split off, and one goes this way and one goes that way.
Were they making tactical moves, like tuck and roll?
Oh yeah. They had assault rifles, man. They had ARs with them. That's what they were carrying. AR-15s. Yes. Oh yes. And so I called my neighbor back. I'm like, hey man, they're there. Like run over there, see what the fuck what the fuck they were doing. You know, and I sat there, I watched them. I'm recording them. And then I'm like, what the fuck is, and I call the sheriff up. This is Saturday. I get online. Of course, I call the office. Nobody's there. And I get online. I find his home number. And I call, and I guess it was his wife or something picked up. And she's like, oh, he's outside getting the lawnmowers going or something. I was like, all right, well, I've got an issue. Could you have him call me back? And then like 5 minutes later, I get a call from an unknown number, and it's the deputy that's out here at my house.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, he's off duty today. Can you come out here? I need to speak with you. No, that's not happening. But yeah, they come here and I'm watching them. It was shortly after he called me. All of a sudden, my cameras went dead. But yeah, they come in my house, ransacked this place, broke also. They unplugged my refrigerator, man.
That is pretty low.
They unplugged my refrigerator. Like, I had a bunch of food in there I had to throw out. It was
cocksuckers, dude. Oh my God.
Just destroyed stuff. Took my laptop, took my camera, took my camera, your
DSLR?
that I was using. My DSLR. They took the DVR for my security system. And of course, there were some guns here. They took the guns. Other things I probably shouldn't talk about because nothing crazy. Like,
they had a search warrant, huh?
Yeah. They left the search warrant. They didn't leave why. They just left 3 pages of stuff that they stole. Like at the top, it was at the top of the page. It was hereby ordered, had the judge's name on it, the date. And it was like to seize all the above described things at the property, and then he wrote in pencil below all the stuff that was taken from here.
What was the date on the judge's signature?
I think it was.
Was it after Wednesday?
Yeah, it was either that morning or the day before.
Interesting. So they came to your house for the complaint, and then they got the warrant afterwards.
Yeah, I think that the first thing was kind of bullshit. I've got I won't get into it on here right now, but I think that they were. Basically, what it comes down to, it seems like they think that I'm a felon still.
That's what it. Yeah, that lines up with the timing.
So
for sure.
Yeah, I actually filed for the paperwork last year for the expungement. And the judge signed it last year. But of course, as with everything, you have to pay expungement fees and blah, blah, blah. And I just paid off, it was like $700 or something. It wasn't that much, but I had just paid off my expungement fees like 2 months ago. And I talked to the woman at the court clerks. I was like, is this it? This is all I owe, right? She's like, yeah, this is all you owe. And I was like, okay, here's the money. And I was like asking how long it takes to get everybody to get their paperwork. And she told me like a month, and I was like, okay, well, whatever, I just want it to be done. But I've got the it's signed by a judge, the piece of paper saying that my felony was expunged. Read through it multiple times. It says expunged. It has those all the charges I was convicted of with my felony conviction. But it seems like that's what it was. They, I guess, literally didn't get the memo that I'm not a felon. I think that they had already suspected that, or maybe a neighbor that knows that I'd gotten arrested told them, yeah, he's over there shooting all the time and he's a felon.
That's what it sounds like, yeah, some nosy neighbor.
Yeah, and then they come here on that. I think the first time they actually came here about the noise complaint, I think that they were just trying to get me to, I think they were prying to see if I would admit that there were guns here.
Right.
And then once I said, and I didn't really say it, but I said, like, there have been guns here. People bring guns here. I think that gave them the, whatever you would call it, to go get the search warrant to come in here and steal everything. So
I guess you got a phone call to make tomorrow, buddy.
I have already called the DUI guy.
Have you talked to a lawyer?
Well, of course, they do it on Saturday, so you can't get a hold of any lawyers.
Well, yeah, that's the idea.
That is the idea, isn't it?
Well, they want to lock you up, and that way you can't see the judge till Monday to get bail. That's why they do it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've been down that road before.
Yeah. But they took your sword, huh?
They took my sword.
You're allowed to have swords. There's no. I mean, you can't just.
I'm allowed to have a laptop.
Yeah. What do they just take what they want?
Yeah. Well, I think I think the reason they took the security system and all that, like, I guess me calling the sheriff. And then the cop calling me back, I'm assuming that they knew, and then also the neighbor coming over, I'm assuming that they figured out that, like, oh, I'm watching you on the security cameras. They got upset about that. But dude, I'm honestly,
it's so crazy.
Maybe I'm being paranoid, and I've got a damn good right to be paranoid, but I wonder if somehow or another, maybe when they were looking me up, because this was right after we released that podcast where I talk about how much I hate cops.
Which one?
And yeah. But yeah. So I wonder if when they were maybe looking me, I don't know. I know, like, they'll get on and look at Facebook to see if you got pictures of yourself with guns on there, stuff like that.
I guarantee you that's what happened. What do you think these sheriffs do all day, dude? You went up to the sheriff's department, fucking Brandenburg. All they do is sit around, drink coffee, and talk shit all day. So as soon as you showed up, they had some excitement. They're like, we're going to look this guy up. Saw your Facebook feed. Probably saw some video of you talking bad about the police. And they said, oh, we're going to find something on this guy. We're going to find something.
Probably.
And I don't...
They've literally got nothing on me. There's literally nothing.
I understand that, but the problem is they just take your shit and you're not going to get it back. Like, there's no way to get your shit back. That's what happens. You know what I mean? I mean, by all rights, they have to give you all your shit back. But, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, this is why it's important to get a lawyer. You know, a lawyer can usually take care of this kind of stuff.
It's just going to cost you. That's the problem.
It's going to cost you, yeah. But
cocksuckers, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Just thinking of Trent Reznor right now. To quote him, that "Hey pig, yeah you, hey motherfucking pig, all black and blue." Poetry.
They're supposed to be out there shooting black people. What the fuck are they messing with us for, Tony?
Gee, they've already shot them all. There's none left. I told you they were getting rid of the undesirables in Meade County. Put some signs up in Louisville to direct them down here. Give the cops something to worry about.
Well, keep us updated, man. Let me know if I need to make t-shirts.
Yeah.
Free Tony
shirts. GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I started a GoFundMe on my felony conviction or my felony charge.
Huh.
When I got in trouble, yeah, I was like, I started this GoFundMe, fight the oppressive drug war, or something like that.
Sheriffs. Are the sheriffs in Brandenburg elected? Are they elected officials or? That's
sheriff
shit.
is like, it is the highest elected judicial position you can hold.
I'm assuming the district attorney can still, I mean, the district attorney can still go after them if they execute some sort of misconduct. I would hope. I don't know how that works, man.
Yeah, it just comes down to money.
Just kick your fucking door and steal thousands of dollars worth of shit.
Oh, speaking of that, they took some money from me too.
Of course.
I had some not crazy amount of cash, but a good amount of cash out here in $100 bills, like in a rubber band that I had pulled out I just had my driveway put in. It's a pretty long driveway. Gravel's expensive. And I had, of course, they took all of it. Took my change. They wrote down how many nickels they took from me.
Oh, they actually wrote it down correctly?
Yeah. Surprising. There's some things they took that they didn't write down. I've been trying to compile a list. My external hard drive that I was using for my laptop, that was not on the list. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess they're going to get a kick out of me doing me cutting down cedar trees and finding morels when I get on there. You could tell they took glee in tearing this place apart and destroying stuff. Like they just dumped a bunch of trash out beside my couch. I had like a cup that was had some cold coffee in it. They just kicked it over in the floor.
They're so fucking self-righteous, dude. They're so self-righteous. They think they are just the fucking God's gift to the earth, you know.
They're
thin blue line.
Just mad because I had the audacity to say I don't want to be bothered if there's not a crime happening, and to invoke my rights to not talk to them and not deal with them. Hey man, I don't want to deal with your shit. What are you bothering me for?
Yeah, but it's like
seems like a pretty reasonable.
What you did, Tony, that's like going to the mafia and complaining that they're like shaking you down. You know what I mean? Like you're poking the bear there, buddy.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I am a reasonable guy. And I make the mistake of thinking that other people are reasonable. I think that I can talk to people on a human level because he's a guy, just like I'm a guy. And I would hope that I stupidly think sometimes like I can break through and I'm just going to talk to you on a personal level, say, hey, I don't want to deal with this. If there are any problems, people can just come to me. If there's a neighbor I'm bothering, they can talk to me. But, I just don't want to be bothered in general with nonsense complaints and calls. It's stressful having to deal with cops pulling up your driveway, and it seems very reasonable to me. But who am I? Just a felon, an awful felon.
Death sentence.
Extrajudicial execution.
I know you've been busy this week.
Yeah.
But there is even something more important going on in the world, Tony.
Oh, there is.
The Johnny Depp defamation trial is going on. I wonder if you followed have you followed this?
Oh,
at all?
Like a hawk.
Oh, really?
Johnny Depp is a fellow Kentuckian, and I will support him to my grave. He's a good man, besmirched by this awful harpy, and I just will not stand for, injustices against me, I can tolerate. Injustices against the man who played Raoul Duke in Fear and Loathing, yeah.
Well, he also played the same character in court today or yesterday.
Yeah.
I guess it was Friday now, yeah. Very compelling testimony from Johnny Depp this past week. He has won over the hearts of the jurors, it looks like. I don't know.
For sure.
Very charismatic individual.
Yeah, he's got, he's one of the most famous actors in the world. Of course, he's got charisma. It definitely shows. And the disparity between the, I guess, the reactions that people have towards him versus towards Miss Amber Heard they're pretty stark.
Pretty one-sided as far as public opinion goes at this point.
Yes.
I haven't followed this whole thing through the whole process, but there is a lot of evidence that she abused him and not so much that he abused her, but there's a couple things that she brought up in court. This isn't, I don't know. Tell me what you think about this, though. I didn't find this super compelling. She's secretly recording him here.
Damn, he put some weight on though, didn't he, boy?
Yeah. It's his first thing in the morning.
How the mighty have fallen.
It's his first thing in the morning, dude. He's shit-faced. How does he look so good and drink so much? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think he explains it in another clip, how he keeps the weight off.
Nothing happened this morning, you know that?
Were you in here?
No.
So then nothing happened to you this morning?
Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We were not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something
You can hear it in her voice right now.
You
Hear what?
this morning? I don't think
That fake innocence.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
She knows what she did. She knows she did it on purpose. Whatever it is, I don't care. She did something, and now she's playing the sweet innocent role. And you can hear it. It stands out.
She sounds happy that she's like recording him secretly too, it seems like.
Yeah.
She like smiles at the camera at one point.
That's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this.
The judge referred to that as a mega pint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is pretty sick, ain't it?
Really?
For the audio listeners, she's got like a mason jar wine glass.
That shit on.
You were smashing shit.
She's laughing. See, he wasn't scaring her. She wasn't scared. I'm on board with you, man. I want to give, trust women and all that shit, but man, I don't know, dude.
But they don't give us any reason to trust them. That's the problem. I would like to do that. I'd like to trust the police, but they don't ever give us any reason now, do they, James?
Well, I mean, women, they a lot of, most rape victims don't come forward because it ruins their life. They have to go public with these allegations or even domestic abuse situations. Most women don't come forward. They just put up with it. And it's probably even harder for a man to come forward with these sort of domestic abuse allegations.
Yeah, for sure. I would be very, I don't know. I can't ever actually, I could not see myself ever coming forward and saying that some woman had beaten me up or was physically abusing me.
Well, why is that?
Toxic masculinity, James. Maybe you've heard of it.
That's what I was going to come back at you with, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just kind of that old male idea of I guess machismo or whatever, something like that. Or you don't want to be a pussy. You don't want to be a pussy. You don't want to be the victim. You don't want to cry about how you're the victim of someone that you could beat up.
So what do you think? You think Johnny Depp was getting beat up by this Amber Heard lady?
It seems very. I mean, she outright admits it in other points. I think she was just. I beat up. I wouldn't say beat up, but certainly assaulted repeatedly. She was physically violent towards him. And he's a Kentucky gentleman, and so he probably took the beating. It seems like he took the beatings, or would try to restrain her, or would just remove himself from the situation, which is exactly what I would do, honestly.
She threw a fucking wine bottle, a big ass wine bottle at him and severed his finger, the tip of his finger, cut off the tip of his finger, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Are you, come on though. This is Johnny Depp, dude. Are you telling me Johnny Depp is going to put up with some shit like that? He's like one of the richest men in Hollywood. There's no way, dude. He would just hire somebody to fucking take her out back and beat the shit out of her.
He's got he's got that Southern gentleman thing that he's trying to do. Hunter Thompson, who he was good friends with and did the movie, whatever, was like real big into that, like the sentimentality and the romantic. And I think Johnny Depp has that, like, these are our problems or marital problems. I'm gonna keep it in. I'll bear the pain myself. And he probably has some stupid ideas about commitment and sticking with someone that you've committed yourself to. And
you sound a little bitter there, Tony. Anything you want to get off your chest? It's almost like a divorce trial, isn't it? Like they're bringing up all kinds of dirty laundry, dude.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what divorce trials are like. Mine was not this bad, thankfully. Yeah. We just didn't have the money. I'm sure if she had the money to get a lawyer to find old pictures of me to put up, she would have. But okay, have you been hearing there's been these great compilations of Johnny Depp's comebacks. In reference to the video we just watched, I think the prosecutor asked something like, would it be fair to characterize your behavior as violent in this video? And Johnny kind of hems and haws a bit. He's like, well, unless you're a cabinet, I don't think you have to worry about my violence. Something along those lines.
He comes across so well, dude. $50 million. She's countersuing him for $100 million, though. It's just going to go on forever. So stupid.
Yeah, rich people problems.
I'm here.
Nobody's going to be suing me for $50 million.
I mean, she's going to be so hated after this. She might get taken out by some Johnny Depp superfan.
Yeah, she's definitely hated. I mean, it seems not. I was trying to think on the internet, on Reddit, for example, has there ever been a single issue that has united Reddit in as much as the Johnny Depp trial? And I was initially thinking about Ukraine, like that everybody seemed to be on board with Ukraine, but it wasn't, I guess, everybody.
Not everybody.
You still had your tankies, you still had your Trumpers that felt like Putin was driving out the pedophiles in Ukraine or whatever fucking shit that they were upset about.
The liberals, getting rid of the liberals.
Yeah, was it maybe 80% in favor of Ukraine? I think it's probably 95% are in favor of Johnny on this. So, it's he's really brought the country together, and that's something we should all be happy about.
Nobody else has really united r/socialism and r/men's rights before. I'd probably agree with you there. Those guys are loving this, I bet. Finally, the proof we need. See, that's the problem. This kind of stuff goes mainstream, and then the men's rights guys go fucking apeshit. They think they got the golden egg here. This is going to be huge. Yeah. This is going to be so much publicity for him, dude. It's already like one of the largest subreddits on Reddit. It's going to get even bigger after this.
It's obviously, it's like a real, I mean, I think that's part of the reason we pay so much attention to it is because it's not the norm, obviously. It generally tends to go the other way where I guess, I don't know. I don't really know if that's true or not. If it's generally the man being abusive to the woman.
Just from personal experience, I would say yes, by far. But
yeah, but ask yourself, did those women have it coming to them?
That's a good point.
I could think of a couple of women that were like, no, that's mean. But
look at this ugly mug, dude. How did she find him attractive?
She's seen that big bulge in his pants on the back, not in the front, the back.
There's the famous photograph.
She seems very interested, and he seems very uninterested. I will take you to copulate
is this
in the elevator.
Is this orchestrated, though? This is obviously orchestrated, right?
Like she told him, hey, look away, and I'm going to look seductively at the camera. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if he's playing on the spectrum or he is actually on the spectrum. I can't never tell with Elon Musk, dude. But I get little hints like this that he's just full of shit. Like this to me looks completely staged. He's following in the footsteps of fucking James Franco here, so obviously he's not just some computer nerd. I don't buy it, dude. I don't buy his whole shtick at all.
Yeah, because he definitely, you see him enough in situations like this and hanging out with this class of people that he's definitely living that billionaire lifestyle.
Yeah, he's
living
just
it up, taking
exactly.
full advantage of it.
He's a businessman. That's all he is. He's nothing more and nothing less, man. That's my opinion. I don't buy the shtick.
I don't consider him a businessman. I consider him a salesperson.
Right.
And he's selling his bullshit to the people and to the government. But yeah, did you see the video where she bangs him in the elevator?
No, I didn't see that one.
Elon, yeah. It's out there. I've seen clips of it.
They're fucking in the elevator?
In an elevator.
Is it real?
Yeah. It's them. It's confirmed. This was apparently shortly after she got married to Johnny.
I thought they were separated when the Elon Musk I don't know why we're getting this deep. We don't need to get this deep.
This is really not necessary.
We're about to like pull up People Mag or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
Somebody yank me out of this fucking rabbit hole quickly.
Exploding Star investigates tonight.
All right, we have a new channel for our narrative content, so that's pretty exciting. I'm happy about this.
It was. I listened to the whole thing. It was really great. I'd say that. Yeah, it was really great. I enjoyed listening to it. It was very well done too. Very well researched, I thought.
Well, there's so much to go through. This guy, he's still writing. Like an open letter to open-minded progressives. We're talking about Mencius Moldbug here. His first blog, which is what it was, is humongous. And then he had another humongous blog for, I don't know how long he wrote it for, but it's a lot to go through. There is substance in there, but you really have to dig to find it. So I'm going to play just a short segment of this. This is up on our channel, Air God Army. Check that out. We're going to go through Mencius Moldbug a little bit. He is making the rounds kind of everywhere lately. He was on Fox News. He's been, on everybody's show, pushing his new Gray Mirror, I think is the name of his new blog. Being a Brahmin, he explains, is not a function of money, but of your success. Brahmins are people who work with their minds.
Brahmins are the ruling class because they are literally the people who govern. Public policies in the modern democratic system are generally formulated by the Brahmins, typically at the NGOs where these white people like to congregate. And while not every progressive is a Brahmin and not every Brahmin is a progressive, the equation generally follows. Most important, the Brahmin identity is inextricably bound up with the American university system. If you are a Brahmin, your status is either conferred by academic success or by some quasi-academic achievement like writing a book, saving the earth, etc. Thus, it's unsurprising that most Brahmins are quite intelligent and sophisticated. They have to be. If they can't at least fake it, they're not Brahmins. The natural enemy of the Brahmin is, of course, the red state American. I used to use another Hindu caste name for this tribe, Vasayyas, but I think it's more evocative to call them townies. As a progressive, you are probably a Brahmin. You know these people and you don't like them. They are fat, they are exclusively white, they live in the suburbs or worse. They are into oak and crochet in minivans, and of course they tend to be Republicans. If they went to college at all, they gritted their teeth through the freshman diversity requirement, and their work may be white collar, but it has no real intellectual content.
He frames the American two-party system here with this. So that's a little bit of Yarvin. There's a lot to say about him. Obviously, he has influence because these ideas were picked up and really ran with. Yarvin, if you don't know, invented the whole red-pilled, the term and how it's used.
I did not know that. Yeah, that was from Matrix, right?
Yeah, it's from Matrix, but he uses it to basically fill in for that. Yeah, it means exactly that.
I guess those that haven't bought into the mainstream media narrative, I guess.
There's a couple main ideas here. The first idea, the Brahmin, he talks about the universities, of course, and he says the enemy of the Brahmin are the townies, which are the red state Americans, the people you live around mostly, and I live around as well. All the same people went to the same universities. That's what I don't understand about this argument that he makes here, because, for example, George Bush and Obama, they both went to Yale. Everybody goes to Yale and Harvard. They all go to the same colleges. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Republicans are
And-
Brahmin too. Trump is a Brahmin. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, are they talking at the top end, or is he speaking general, like the base, or is he just talking?
He's talking about the base.
leadership?
He's talking about
He's talking
the base.
about the base. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a very uninteresting, I guess, picture of this is like the same right wing narrative that you'll find on r/Tim Pool, like their perception of what a liberal or a leftist is. You know, it's just the elite. You know, somebody that lives in a nice house and they went to college, and you know they're really worried about being progressive on social issues. I don't know. It's a nonsense. When I hear stuff like that, it's like it's really nonsense to me, because that's not the left. You know, I know a little bit about the left. I talk to people, and I think that the demographic that they're talking about is such a small part of the U.S. populace, and I'm just amazed. Well, I think it's politically convenient optically to portray the people on the left as these people, as the Brahmins, you know, the people that went to a nice college and they watch CNN and they vote for Hillary Clinton.
I don't understand I guess what I'm having trouble understanding is why the white working class are the enemy of the Brahmin. The white working class, it's not like if they got their way, which they get their way pretty often. I mean, I don't understand.
I think this is
there's nothing they're going to do to change that narrative, to get rid of the Brahmin. There's nothing they can do to get rid of the Brahmin. Who's going to govern if the Brahmin are the ones who govern?
Certainly don't want the townies governing. Yeah, I don't know. I think the difference between the two, or the reason for the tension between those two groups, it's basically just a cultural issue. But you know, I think this kind of plays in with like the right wing narrative, like you said, that you would find from Tim Pool, where this cultural tension is played up as being is kind of superseding all the other real political and economic tensions, which there's probably not as many, well, certainly not as many on the political and economic side of the actual populace. It's just they have that big cultural difference, and that's, I guess, what people tend to
It reminds me of
lean towards.
It reminds me of like a reverse Jimmy Dore. Like instead of he only criticizes Democrats. Like if you read the whole open letter to open-minded progressives, he talks extensively about Obama, but really doesn't dig into Trump, which he should be doing as well, or any other Republican leader like, you know, McConnell or anybody else. If in fact it is a situation where the Brahmin are the one who govern. Yeah, there's a lot to say about it. We'll get into it more as the series goes on. I think the next piece we're going to work on is probably the comparisons with Lenin, because he draws heavily upon Lenin in a lot of his work. But of course, his conclusion is very different. You know, his conclusion isn't a dictatorship of the proletariat. His conclusion is a dictatorship of a dictator, basically. He's a monarchist. He believes in, and I think there is an argument to be made, right? Instead of all the bullshit politics, because he rephrases some of Lenin's ideas, like basically all politics is bullshit, and he rephrases it in a way to make it sound like politics and democracy mean the same thing. He lays that out explicitly in open letter. It's an interesting argument, but like I said, Lenin's made that argument. He just comes to a different conclusion. The conclusion Moldbug is coming to is just go back to a monarch, which isn't that interesting to me. I think what's more interesting is the idea of a democratically elected monarch. That would make more sense to me.
I mean, I guess a monarchy, which I have trouble believing he's actually a Jacobite or a monarchist. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It seems pretty odd. I mean, essentially, that's just kind of like it's like the logical extension of a Brahmin class. You know, well, we have a Brahmin class. It's this upper group of elites that went to the nice colleges, and they're the ones that govern. And I mean, if you think that that's a good idea, then just have a very, very select group of incredibly elite, somebody that's, you know, raised from birth to be the monarch, it's the same idea that he's talking about, but he seems to be opposed to the one and in favor of the other. He's opposed to having a group of people that are the ruling class, and he wants a family of people that are the ruling class. And that's going to somehow work better than a group of people.
I've read a lot of his work, and I still haven't come across like a definitive argument as to why he's a Jacobite. That's what he claims he is. He says it constantly. He says he's a monarchist.
He's specifically a Jacobite. Like he supports the Catholic restoration to the English throne of the Catholic monarchy or something along those lines. Or does he just like the word Jacobite?
He just likes the word. Yeah. He's just,
okay.
I don't think he's referring to the religious aspect of it. Because tries to claim that he's this secularist, which isn't really the case because he's drawing upon Hindu tradition.
Yeah.
And
I think there's a living Jacobite pretender, an old guy that lives in Germany, I want to say.
is he like lineage wise, like related to James II or something?
Yeah. So
Interesting.
little history. Yeah, the Jacobite, which was James II, so his Latin would be Jacob. The supporters in Scotland were the Jacobites. He fled, went to France, went to Italy, I think, and his descendants today, or the actual male primogeniture descendant, is an old guy that lives in Germany, I believe.
Does he seem qualified?
There you go, Moldbug. I'm sure he is. I think he's like descended from the old German princes. So he's like, just some ridiculously rich dude that spends all his time with bullshit philanthropic endeavors.
We need to get him in a laboratory somewhere. He's got to be the most like inbred person alive, dude. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Those old genes.
Yeah. That blue bloods.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in nootropics, check out my website, MetaMaxPerformance.com. We are getting ready to launch our spring sale. Will be any day now. Check it out, see what we have going on discount wise. Get all your nootropic compounds there if you don't mind. Support the show, MetaMaxPerformance.com.
ShireHempFarms.com, your number one source for CBD and Delta 8 products. Come check us out. We are running a sale on the 1 mil vape carts. $15. $15. Can you believe that? That's so cheap, Tony. I know, isn't it? You should go check it out. Check it out. ShireHempFarms.com.
What's Scott doing over there? What are you guys doing?
He's he's been helping me out today, doing some work here on the cabin. He's telling me about his hormone injections.
Oh,
I think planning the surgery here pretty soon.
That's good.
So,
I'm proud of him, man.
He was asking me. He knows I'm a boob man, so he's asking my input on what size cups he should get. I've always just the bigger the better, buddy.
It doesn't matter how big you go. It doesn't matter how big you go. You're always going to want to go bigger afterwards. Thanks to the glorious technologies by people like Elon Musk, we're able to bring back from the dead content from decades ago in full HD 60 FPS. It's exciting.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Go back. Hold on a second. Now that we can see the detail here.
He's got some eyebrows on his shoulders.
This is fake. This has to be fake. Nobody grows hair on their traps, dude. This is fake as fuck, right? This is...
I do.
No.
Not that thick, but it's pretty thick.
On your traps right here?
Oh, yeah. Yep, right there. Right there. I've got hairs that long. Scott, I can get Scott over here to confirm it. But yeah, I got right across the top right here, dude. All in this area. It's very hairy.
I saw this and I was like, there is no way this is real. Nobody grows hair on their traps, on the back of their traps. It's just like normally you would grow hair all through, down your back or whatever.
Yeah. See, I have very little down my back. It's all up on the shoulders, the top of the trap. Very
strange. I guess you and Chuck Norris are on the same level, man.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling people.
Yeah.
All right. Chucky boy, we ride on the insert joke.
The next fake thing in this is the amount of knuckle cracks. There is so much cracking going on in this. What is... You hear it? Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
Let me turn it up. Every time he moves it, makes knuckle crack noises. You can see the speed of his punches, though, because it's they're using AI to add frames, so this is actually 60 FPS. It's sick, dude. Why is his knuckles cracking here? What is he? He's not even doing anything. What's cracking?
I really appreciate how forgiving they were of one another needing to warm up. This movie is so great. The sound effects, the cat, the boom with the chest hair.
Oh, it's so epic, dude. I just love the fact that they've used the accumulated human knowledge of scientific understanding to remaster this fight scene in full HD 60 FPS.
They just do this fight scene. Well, good for them. Yeah, this is an amazing movie.
Nobody has balls to walk around with that much chest hair anymore.
No.
It's on his
I'll bring it back.
It's on his outer delts, like his mid delts. It's Which fucking stagehand made that noise? That is not a cat. That is not the noise of a cat, dude. Oh god. One more time. I need to rewatch all of these because I haven't seen these in years, man.
Yeah, me too.
It's like Billy Bob, the light man in the back there doing the voice of the cat.
We need a lot of passion from you on this one. Just give it your full gusto.
Jesus.
I'm trying to think of what that sounds like. It sounds like if you. I'm thinking a 3-year-old. What did you do to a 3-year-old to get that noise out of them?
You like step on their back. They're like on the floor playing. You like step on their back, like almost break.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking like just smash their foot really hard with the heel of your boot.
All right. I just have a few short ones here for you to enjoy.
Yeah, God, Bruce is the best. I remember 16th or 17th birthday, I got the Bruce Lee box set. Such a cherished possession.
Look at fucking Bill Clinton here, dude.
Jesus.
What the hell happened to him?
He looks a little rough, don't he?
He's all shriveled up.
He's got the Steve Buscemi eyes going on.
Steve Buscemi eyes? What do you mean?
Yeah, Steve Buscemi's got them really weird looking eyes.
He does?
Or they're like outlined by wrinkles on the top and the bottom.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You'd have to hang on. Look, yeah. It's a whole thing where you put Steve Buscemi's eyes on other people and see what they look like.
It's like a meme. Oh, that's
meme.
horrifying.
It is. Look at it.
Jesus.
Willem Dafoe with Steve Buscemi eyes.
That is horrifying. Willem Dafoe's horrifying enough. Just his face.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. That's great. Oh God, I'm glad you turned me on to that. Okay. Yeah, I can see what you mean. He's definitely got some. He just looks shriveled up, man. All the lies over the years have really caught up to him, man.
Yeah. So is the ecstasy in Nigerian prostitutes.
Yeah, he's probably got syphilis or something.
I hope that's what he's doing. Jesus, you're a freaking billionaire, ex-president. Dude, live it up, brother. Live it up.
You don't think he's like suffering from all the years of the lies and like the...
No, that's why you take ecstasy.
Hillary Clinton like beats the shit out of him every night before he goes to bed.
Or cocaine, turns all your bad thoughts into good thoughts.
That's what Johnny Depp does. He tells you all about it in the trial.
Oh yeah. They Mr. Depp, was it true that upon leaving the hospital or at the hospital you said you immediately needed cocaine and ecstasy? No, that was after I left.
I was doing lines of pure DMT with Marilyn Manson. Like name drops so many people during the course of this trial. It's epic.
Yeah. Did you ever do drugs with Marilyn? Did you ever give Marilyn Manson drugs? Well, I shared some reefer with him, perhaps some cocaine, and I once gave him a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
Yeah.
For real, it's nice to have somebody that's as likable as him and his stature going out there and just being really open and just honest about drug use. Like,
that's a good
adult.
point. That's a good point.
And just leave me the fuck alone, man. Leave me alone. Yeah, I did cocaine. So what? Leave me alone.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with his level of violence, right? And it seems
of course not. That's what they're trying to do.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're using his drug use as evidence that he's violent somehow.
Yeah. They had the 3 big bags of weed. These are 3 pretty big bags. I've seen bigger.
No, he's so likable, man. He tells the story where she shits on the bed.
I did not listen to that one because it grosses me out. I think that's the one clip from the trial that I haven't. I just didn't. I was like, yeah.
I'll indulge because You have to check it out,
Okay.
dude, because it's
All right, I'll
it's
check it out.
It's not gross or anything. It's just the way he tells the story it's like
Yeah.
he's literally, it's like he's reading a script for a movie or something. It's epic, dude.
The problems ailing the world can wait. We've got real shit to talk about tonight.
I know.
Is this gonna become a celebrity gossip?
No,
What
it's
was we
not.
talking about last?
It never
week.
will.
You know, many bands. And,
He really builds up to it too, man. He really,
yeah.
He's a storyteller.
He is.
He knows the
Going to
components of setting that stage.
there's nobody I'd rather do fucking coke with than Johnny Depp. Probably he's
Oh,
just seems so
Of
fun.
course not.
So many stories.
Coachella for the weekend.
I want to ask him where he got his cocaine, and he looks at me and goes, "From Colombia," just like from Blow.
I did not see Ms. Heard until May 21st.
And why was that?
I had received some news.
Dramatic pause.
Many dramatic pauses.
As I've
He almost is doing like a Chris Hedges thing here. This story.
and grotesque and cruel. And then I was shown a picture of what the problem was. I had gone to Mr. Bett and said, she's at Coachella. I think it's a good time to go downtown so that I can get some of my things, you know, and get them out of there, especially the things that were precious to me, you know, children things, things from friends, Brando, Hunter, Thompson, whatever, things that were important to me.
You know, famous
And he
people.
said, I don't think now's a good time to go. And I thought, it's the perfect time. She's not going to be home for 2 days. And then he showed me a photograph on his telephone of
Objection, Your Honor. Also hearsay.
It's a photograph, Your Honor.
As being relayed to him by Mr. Bett.
He says he looked at it on his phone.
I'll overrule the objection as the photograph.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
it was a photograph of the bed, our bed.
The tension. I just feel the tension. I know it's coming, and
Side of the bed.
it's not giving us what we want.
Come on.
Human fecal
We got to keep asking for it.
It was human fecal matter.
So I understood why it wasn't a good time to go down there.
Just building up, and then the payoff. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to get some money out of her.
Of course he does.
Get his.
I don't think he cares about the money.
Yeah, I don't think
Not
so.
my Johnny.
He. Do you feel bad for him?
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
You ever had a woman shit in your bed?
No, I've not.
Me
I'm
either.
not.
That's pretty fucking crazy, dude. On the
I've
spectrum
not
of,
always had the. Yeah, I've not always had the best choice in women, but I've had good enough choice so that I've not wound up with shit in my bed.
when you're that rich, though, you're just fucking the laundry person. You're not fucking Johnny. He's not cleaning that shit up.
Yeah, of course. Like, yeah,
Some shitty paid fucking maid class to clean that shit up.
yeah. But yeah, well, good talking to you again, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, good talking to you, and good luck. Let us know. Keep us updated, man.
I will, and this will definitely be a big, complete story when it's all done, because I think there's going to be a lot to this.
Okay.
So we'll document the whole thing on here at
For
some point.
posterity.
For posterity. But all right, James, peace.
Have a go, man. Later.
Later.